order the policy committee meeting. It is Wednesday, November 18th, 2020. It is 6:02 p.m. We are meeting due to social distancing and COVID. Mr. Green, did you want to take roll?
Okay. All right. Ms. Bishop?
Here.
Ms. Ziem is not here tonight. We have Ms. Raymond.
Here.
And Mr. Garino is here. Also with us, we have Mr. Parker and Ms. Kinsella.
Welcome, everybody. So tonight we just have one policy that we're reviewing. It's Nashua policy JLCC in regards to communicable diseases. Mr. Parker, do you want to speak to the policy?
Well, the reason, yes, the reason it was late, we realized, I realized the other one was just way too long and actually muddied the waters, dealing not just with children, but with adults. Right. And so at first reading, I thought it was more expansive than it was there. And then we had our lawyer review it as well and totally blew it up. And it was a good reason. But I think the wording here, it gets at what we need it to do. It gives us flexibility. All right. It has all the legal references that we need to be able to deal with succinctly, and also with students under IDA. You know, so you can read it quickly and understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can read it quickly and understand it, and people know who to go to and what the roles are.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Yes, Ms. Raymond.
I just have a question about the label, the alphanumeric labeling system that we use, where it used to be JLCG. No, it used to be JLCC, and now we're changing it to G. Are we getting rid of JLCC, or are we keeping that one as well?
It would be my recommendation to probably, after this is approved, to rescind JLCC.
Okay.
We're, again, trying to make it, keep in line with the New Hampshire School Boards Association and their numeric system, so.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I'm going back. One more question. And so this only deals with communicable diseases. This isn't, well, I guess my question is this applicable to like a student who has a cold or strep throat or some other illness that's contagious where they would have to leave school but isn't COVID?
Yes. So if you read, you can see that in two places. Number one, when we get to the, if you want to go through the grid that's next to that, but if you look, and so the second sentence, determinations to exclude a child based upon a contagious or communicable illness or other medical conditions shall be made pursuant to the board policy. Exclusions based upon hazards other than contagious or communicable diseases may only occur with the approval of the superintendent. So yes.
Okay.
You're covered.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. I'm sorry.
I can share my screen if you want. If you want me to, because like right there.
No, I invested in a printer.
Oh, okay. You have it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, see, I printed it out. Yeah.
Yes, this is a lot shorter than it was originally, isn't it, Mr. Parker?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And, you know, it hit us all that even without some of the other things that is the purview of HR, no one's going to read that far.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Finding a lot of those policies are pretty in-depth and long.
Yes. But historically, if you look at ours, they're not.
Right.
Not,
Right.
and that struck me again when I went back
Mm-hmm.
to go through the POPs.
Mhm.
The longest may be 4 pages, but given the subject matter it needed to be, it may not have even been that. Okay,
Yep.
most were a page or half a page, or
Right.
the middle of the page, but it said what needed to be said.
Yep. And then whatever forms went along with it, I'm sure added to those longer ones.
Yep, and those are mostly in the back of the policies. Some of the forms, if I'm remembering correctly, Tara. Yeah. So.
Okay. Well,
Ms. Bishop, I have another issue.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. So earlier this year, no, late last year, we adopted the transgender and gender nonconforming students policy, and I just would like to be a little bit more inclusive in our policy language as we go forward, and perhaps say they instead of he, she.
I wouldn't see a problem with that.
And then the other thing is it says parents be notified. I just like to change that to parents / guardians.
Okay.
Again, with the idea of inclusiveness, we have a lot of different families.
You say the transgender policy. They instead of
Mm-hmm.
She just to be more inclusive. It
like they / he, she.
I would just put they.
Okay.
And then instead of himself, you would just put themselves or others. And by adopting that gender neutral pronouns in our policies, and if we can start to try and be consistent with it, then we don't have to worry about, inadvertently excluding gender nonconforming students from our policies.
Gender non-binary.
So the School Board Association last year had recommended the term gender nonconforming. I don't personally know what is better.
I bet somebody knows the answer to that.
I bet. And if at some point we need to have, I have a philosophy of you know better and you do better. So if we learn that there's a better term out there, I think we should then adopt the better term.
Mm-hmm. Always. Well, if we're gonna just kind of do those kind of wordsmithing, it doesn't really change the whole policy. So I think we could probably take a vote on this to go to the full board if he doesn't have any more questions. People don't.
One more quick one, Jen.
Yes.
I just happened to notice in the 4th line, when we shall be made pursuant to board policy, it should read JLCG
Okay.
-R.
So do you need a motion to send it to the full board as amended this evening?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. Guarino, do you have anything else before I make that motion?
Nope, I think I'm all set. I read it through and seems like the changes are fine.
Okay, thank you. I'm really enjoying these Zoom meetings, seeing it on television where we're all like peering at our screens because the words are so tiny.
That's why I have a screen over here, and a screen right here. So you only get to see this every once in a while.
That's nice. I feel like everyone out there watching our meetings has gotten to know my nose really well. All right. So I'll make the motion to, I move that we send JLCG and JLCGR to the full board with the amendments that we discussed this evening.
I will second.
Oh, okay. Do you want to do roll, Mr. Guarino?
Sure. On the motion, Ms. Bishop,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond,
Yes.
and Mr. Guarino votes yes. The motion carries 3-0.
Do we need to make a motion to send JLCC to the board to rescind? I think we do.
Yes. And is there a JLCCR? No. Okay.
There is.
No, there's not.
Okay.
So,
So I move that we send JLCC to the full board to be rescinded.
I'll second. On the motion to rescind JLCC, Ms. Bishop,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond,
yes.
Mr. Guarino votes yes. Motion carries 3-0.
Excellent. Does anybody else have any other topics or information that they want to bring forward?
So did we approve both of these JLCC, I'm sorry, JLCG and JLCGR? Did we do that both in that one motion?
Yeah, Heather. put
I
them
did
together.
it. Yeah, I don't know if that was proper or not, but that's what I did.
Okay, I'm sorry, I spaced it there and I knew I didn't realize you did both at the same time.
So I don't mind.
No, that's fine. It's fine. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, I was gonna say
Yeah,
I can rescind it if we changes for JLCGR.
No, they're coupled together anyway, so I think it's fine. Well, thank you, Mr. Parker, for putting in a ton of effort into creating these. You definitely,
Had a lot of help, right, Tara? So I think one of the things Ms. Bishop and I were upcoming, at least in the next couple of meetings anyway, 3 topics. Technology, we would like to do an addendum to the existing use policy.
Great.
And so making some headway on that. And we do not have a homeschool policy. So I talked with Mr. Chopa a couple of weeks ago. And so I want to get traction on that because even last night at the meeting, we heard somebody who was homeschooling, but we don't have a policy. And so I'm looking at various districts and states for homeschooling policies. And the last one, escapes me at the moment.
it was a while.
Do you remember, Tara?
You actually captured the 2 that I know have been mentioned recently. So
Oh, you know what? Those are the 2. Sorry, those are the 2. So,
Mhm.
all right. Communicable diseases was the 3rd one. But that's in the hopper.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys for all your hard work. We just get to show up and vote, so you made it very easy. All right, so our next meeting is going to be, Tara, do you know where the next meeting is?
I believe, give me a quick second and I can tell you, I downloaded the new calendar today.
Right, everything's a little messed up because we kind of pushed everything around, so it's not the typical.
We did. We kind of flopped December because we have one full board meeting. So we tried to put our committees prior to the full board so that
Mhm.
everything can be approved before the end of the year.
Mhm.
And policy will be on Tuesday, December 15th.
Okay, great.
Excellent. All right, thank you. And thank you, Ms. Raymond, for filling in.
No problem.
Everybody, lovely when you be flexible, so thank you so much. And it was good to see you, Mr. Guarino.
Yep.
Great.
Do you want to hear, does somebody want to make a motion to end the meeting?
Oh yeah. Motion to adjourn.
I will second. On the motion to adjourn, Ms. Bishop,
Yes.
Ms. Raymond,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino votes yes. Motion carries 3-0 at 6:18 p.m.
All right.